Right, let us go to the manor, because we need to do some stuff. Welcome back, Professor Layton. Please come in. Everyone is waiting. Thank you, Matthew. Is something troubling you, my good man? You seem ill at ease. Oh no, I'm fine, sir. Please make your way to the parlour. Alright, if you're certain that nothing is the matter, we'll head upstairs. After we look in our journal. The girl's warning. En route to the mansion, we ran into that shawled girl again. I meant to ask her many things, but she vanished moments after she appeared. She stayed just long enough to warn us to stay away from the tower. Arriving at the manor, I noticed something peculiar about Matthew's expression today. Why has the inspector called us here? Something is very odd. Anyway, let's go up. Ah, Mr. Layton, thank you for arriving so promptly. Come, have a seat. Why have you called us here, Inspector Chelmy? Like you, I'm not the kind of man who beats around the bush, so I'll just come out with it. I'm on to you, Layton. It's clear as day. You are responsible for Simon's death. Are you suggesting I murdered Simon? Nonsense. Yeah, nice, Layton. I have to admire the way you keep cool under pressure. But of course, I would expect nothing less from a cold-blooded killer such as yourself. I don't suppose you've seen this before, eh? This vase was on display in the room in which Simon was found dead. All the forensic evidence I've gathered suggests that the killer... Our killer was no professional, you see. He left his fingerprints all over the murder weapon. Fingerprints that matched your own, Mr. Layton. That's the vase in the market, isn't it? You rotten murderer. If this vase is evidence, why did you just break it like it was nothing? So go on, give me an alibi, Layton. Where were you when we killed Simon? I was with Luke investigating matters down in the village. Is that the best you can do, Admit it, Layton. You two wanted to keep the golden apple so badly that you conspired to murder Simon. Wait a minute. You can't fool me, Layton, so cough it up and start talking. While I'm at it, I'll take the key to the tower you picked up too. It seems that you're intent on pinning this crime on me, Inspector, but if you're a true enforcer of the law, you're not there. Any member of this household could have committed the crime. You'll have to rule out the possibility. Furthermore, are we even sure that the murder took place here? What kind of nonsense are you spiting now? Do you really think whatever. Inspector Chelmy, I'm beginning to think that the only person here with something to hide is you. That's absurd. This has nothing in the slightest to do with me.
No, Inspector, it has quite a bit to do with you. Meaning? Isn't it obvious?
Haha.
If there is any criminal element involved in this case, then it is you, sir.
Objection!
Oh, that's absurd.
Hey, calm down.
What utter rubbish!
Oh, it's not
You'll need
rubbish,
more than
Chelmy.
some death charge to save your hide.
Really? Chelmy. I've heard you're quite the devoted husband, Inspector. I bet you take very good care of your wife, Jane. Luke and I found this article in the paper. Luke, what was Inspector Chelmy's favourite food again? Oh, it was, fresh cakes. This article specifically states you love cakes, and you raged at poor Matthew when he brought you cakes with tea. But why? Your point is I just happened Jane's cakes. Is that so? Thank you, Inspector. This little conversation has made things quite clear. Please take a look at this. I believe you just called them Jane's cakes. Yes, I'd like everyone to look at this article. As you can all see, the article clearly states that Inspector Chelmy's wife is Amelie, not Jane. Do you mean to tell me you've forgotten your own wife's name? Grr! Out with it then. Who are you, and why have you been impersonating Inspector Chelmy? And why have you been running this investigation? Grr! But your sudden memory loss regarding your wife's name isn't the only suspicious thing about you. Try to recall the time around Simon's death. You said you received a report that prompted you to come to St Mystere, but you forgot one thing. After Luke and I arrived, the drawbridge that is the St Mystere sole entrance the crank was stolen. Do you recall when the seclusion began? Began during our search for Claudia. Which was before Simon went? Haha. Well, before Simon's death was discovered. After that event, there was no way that anyone could enter the village from the outside. By the same token, there was no way to take things out of the village, particularly something as large as a corpse. So tell me, Inspector Chelmy, when did you actually first set foot in St Mystere? And furthermore, what did you do with Simon's remains? While we're on this subject, I have one more nagging question that I haven't been able to work out. How is it that you knew about the key to the tower we discovered? When we happened upon that key, there wasn't a soul in the area apart from Luke and myself. Furthermore, I've spoken of what we found there to no one. There's no conceivable way you could have known about this key. Unless, of course, you were spying on us from the shadows when we found it. Now, let me see if I've got this correct. You posed as the Inspector and used Simon's death as an excuse to infiltrate Ranhall Manor. Since then, you've been waiting for the ideal time to strike and steal the Golden Apple. How am I doing so far? What's so funny? This is no laughing matter. I'm just astounded at how despicable I find you, Layton. That's exactly why you're worthy of being my archenemy. It is. Oh my god. Don Paolo! Haha. You haven't caught on yet, but St Mystere has a secret of epic proportions. Yeah. When I imagine a dimwit like you trying to So I'll be off now. Listen closely, Layton. Never forget how close you came to being bested. One day I, the great Don Paolo, would rain my vengeance down upon you. Another day you'll beg for an umbrella and a raincoat, perhaps even some galoshes. Gosh. Nutto. Oh. Oh, great. Someone's gonna have to fix the blooming window. I guess he's gone. Do you know who that man was? Don Paolo is his name. I've heard stories of him. His grasp of the hard sciences is rumoured to be unrivaled. The problem, as you might guess, is his personality. Though he is a genius, the man is evil. The Science Board has banished him from working officially in his field ever again. Sneaking into St Mystere to steal the Ranhall fortune sounds like the kind of scheme he would hatch. He seems to hold quite a grudge against you, Professor. What did you do to cross him? I haven't the slightest idea, Luke. Well, that aside, what was that secret about? I'm mystified by it myself. For the time being, though, let's focus on finding the Golden Apple, shall we? I say we follow our newest lead and head for that tower. Let's check the dead end where we were before. Chapter 8, the shadowy intruder, complete. Ooh, Inspector Shelby solved. What a shock! Who could have imagined that Don Paolo, self-proclaimed arch-enemy of the Professor, was posing as the Inspector in an effort to steal the Ranhall fortune? The true Inspector Shelby never set foot in St Mystere and is probably at home in London, enjoying cakes. Enter Don Paolo. Behind the vinyl mask, the man who had posed as the Inspector all this time was none other than the brilliant scientist Don Paolo. It seems he too was after the Ranhall fortune. He alluded to some larger mystery at work here in the village. I'm fairly certain I know what one he means. Anyway, let's talk to Lady Dahlia. I'm simply shocked at this turn of events. Who could have guessed that we had an impostor in our midst? He had me completely fooled. But you saw right through him, Professor. I must say, I'm quite impressed with your cunning. I ask you now that you put that brilliant mind of yours to work again and search for the Golden Apple. It would be my pleasure, madam. By the way, are you feeling alright? You look a bit pale. I awoke this morning with memories of a peculiar dream I must have had last night. In it, my husband and I had just had a brand new baby girl, and oh, how everyone fawned over her. The next moment, suddenly I was in a park, walking hand in hand with my young daughter. Your daughter, you say? Now, why would I have a silly dream like that? These past few days have been really quite draining. Professor Layton, I don't feel particularly well at the moment. I think I'll go and lie down for a bit. What's wrong with Lady Dahlia? She had a dream of walking in the park with her young daughter. There's something quite curious about that dream. This village just gets curiouser and curiouser. Anyway, let's head for that, dead end. Because I do believe everything will be answered there. Oh wow! In the game, there are only 120 puzzles within the actual game itself before you go to the bonuses. So we've just got to solve 9 more puzzles. Wow. Anyway, let's talk to Prosciutto. Hey, Professor, I've been waiting for someone like you. Listen, I've got something very interesting to tell you if you solve this puzzle here. Okay. Puzzle 104, a sweet treat. Cut them into... each with the same shape and each containing a different almond. Oh, each containing an almond. Okay. I'm in a different location, jeez. Yep. That'll do it.
Luke, here's my answer. Critical thinking
Is the key to success. Nicely done. Now make sure you share with everyone. And I don't like almonds. Jeez. The greatest culinary... Shut up. The worst thing you can ever put in your mouth is also a disc... Choke a donkey with those scones. Oh, I love scones. They're absolutely divine. Especially these cheese scones from a garden centre near where I live. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, this is great. I think it's... Oh, we've done the rooms. Now, this is a room any gentleman would be proud to call his own. Staying here should speed up the investigation. By the way, Luke, I have a present for you to mark this occasion. Yes, we have now unlocked... Yeah, come on. We've now unlocked the decorator's house. Yay! Anyway, let's look at the actual inn itself and look at the rooms, eh? Oh wow, superb. A man used to living in a place like this. This is great. I think I could stay here forever. Now, those are quite nice rooms. I want a room like that if I went to an inn. Anyway. Now that that's out of the way, I think it is finally time to go and look at this dead end. We've got 8 more puzzles to go. Ah! Oh god, I've got to trust the crazy lady again. Hehehe, I've got a new puzzle for you, dearie. I bet you're just dying to see it, aren't you? What a terrible rush. Him. You can't fool this old girl. I've seen you strolling around serving other people's puzzles. And now it's my turn. What? You've been following us? Stalker, crazy lady, run, run, run. 105, rolling a 3. What's the chance of rolling a 3? It's 1 in how many? 1 in 6. Because there's only
That
1
should
3.
do it. Every puzzle has
Simple,
an
really.
answer.
Doesn't matter how many times you roll the same number, the probability is 1 in 6. Hehe, you're going to the tower, are you, dearie? How about I show you the way? Oh yes, I don't want to go anywhere near that place myself, so I suppose I can make an exception for strapping man such as yourself, oh yes. Professor, we should really keep moving. Yeah. Run! It's a dead end, no two ways about it. Maybe there's another path to the dead end. I'd argue that we've come to exactly the right spot, Luke. Look right here, Luke. There's a small indentation in the wall where one could place a small object. Oh, so this must be... Yes, this curious indentation is no doubt the spot indicated to Baron Reinhold there. I'm willing to wager that if we put this in here, then give it a turn... You see? The professor was right. Wow. Just as I suspected. Alright, Luke, in we go. Chapter 9, The Tower's Secret. A path to the tower has been found. Scale the tower and solve all the mysteries of St Mystere. The tower key is solved. Yes, we shall save our progress, thank you very much. The note left by the Baron on Archibald's desk gave Layton the clue he needed to realise the key would fit into the wall in the north of the village. From there, the Professor and Luke could access the path to the tower. The path opened. Using the key we found beneath the waterside shack and the note in Archibald's desk, we've managed to open a path to the tower. I'm relieved that we've finally made true progress in our investigation, but this is no time to revel. What mysteries await inside? The end game is near. In fact, it begins in the next part.